So I was asked to give my, review or just my thoughts about Dave Chappelle's new stand-up special, The Closer. And I gotta tell you, I thought it was exquisite, splendid, my nigga. Beyond reproach, all those words you don't usually hear black folks say. I thought it was all that in a bag of chips. Now, it wasn't as good as Sticks and Stones. Sticks and Stones is probably my top 5 stand-up specials of all time. But you gotta understand, when you a comic looking at stand-up comedy, we look at it with different eyes. It's the same way an artist would look at a Van Gogh painting or Picasso or something like that. They would take away from it more than a casual fan. Same way, basketball players, when they speak about Michael Jordan, you can see their eyes light up like kids, just in awe of the feats and the stuff that he did on the court. Not just his physical talent, but just the third eye, his basketball IQ, his instincts. If you're a jazz enthusiast, the way you look at Miles Davis, the way he put patterns together, he changed the game. If you're a hip hop enthusiast, a real hip hop head, the way you might look at an MF Doom, you know what I'm saying, or a Black Thought, or Kendrick Lamar, or even an Eminem, how they put the complex rhyme structures, or the metaphors of a Lil Wayne, or the double entendres of a Jay-Z. You see what I'm saying? You look at it differently than a casual fan. And as comedians, that's how we look at Dave Chappelle. When people call Dave Chappelle one of the GOATs, they don't necessarily mean he's the funniest comedian. They mean he's one of the most talented comedians. The way he constructs a set is beautiful. It's beautiful. The tone, the pace, he hits all the marks. An equal amount of silliness with profoundness. It's almost if, and I have no idea what his writing is like, but it's almost like he writes out what he wants to say, the message, and then he goes back and he punches it up and tags it to death. That's almost how it seems. All comedians have a point of view. We now not all just silly, and even the ones that make a living just being silly, they have a point of view. You're a thinking person if you're a comedian, and to be able to get up there and lay it out effortlessly, give a message, and not sound preachy, that's talent. The way that he could bring you full circle and tied neatly with a bow at the end is talent. He puts the medicine in the candy. So he has something he wants to say. So definitely a point that he always wants to get across. But you have to put the medicine in the candy. Plenty of comedians have, said similar things that Dave Chappelle is saying. He's not reinventing the wheel, but he does not come across as preachy at all. And the message that I personally took from his stand-up, and I know that he was speaking specifically, but I look at what he's saying generally, nationally, internationally, globally. And it's something that I've been saying, and I definitely I can't speak it as eloquently as he can. But what I took from it was very simple. And it's a saying that I've been using for years. You are free to live your best life, but not at my expense. You are free to live your best life. I want you to live your best life. I want you to laugh. I want you to prosper. I want you to have everything you ever want. I want you to win the lottery. I want you to be harmonious within the world. I don't want nobody bothering you. We all share this earth together. And even though it seems like the village is dead, I think that history and time will show that it don't need to be. You can't not move throughout this world. Neighbor be damned. The very thing that makes this country so-called great and desirable is going to be its downfall. I can do whatever I want to do. You all adjust to me. It's that individualism that's destroying us. And just like Dave Chappelle said, empathy goes both ways. Empathy goes both ways. You can't say I'm against bullying, but what you really means is I just don't like your bullies. So let me move your bullies out of the way and bring in my bullies. We can't live like that. We can't exist like that. Everybody can't be out here living your best life at the expense of everybody else, there is going to be a backlash. You cannot engage in behavior that negatively or positively affects other people in any way, shape, form, or fashion, and then expect them not to have a say-so and not speak up about it. That's not going to happen. We are moving closer and closer to a society to where there are people out there who have megaphones, and they are in the minority. I don't care what anyone says. They are in the minority who believe that we should not have any oversight. Everybody should be able to move around the earth like we're in the wild, wild damn West, and we are not. And we tried that, and that didn't work. Remember, we cannot live in chaos. We have to attempt to live together, man, and have civility towards one another. That has to be the play, or you're going to have this. It's human nature. So I got what he was trying to say, and I agree with what he was trying to do. And like I said, he was speaking specifically, but I apply what he was saying to everything, everywhere, and everyone. You are free to live your best life, but not at the expense of others.